Personal finance expert, MeVest founder Lesley-Anne Scorgie joining us on Canada Now. And Lesley-Anne, your latest article in The Star discusses that time of year, your 7-day spending detox.
That's right. So you know me, we've done this every year for many years. And spending detox basically means you go without spending for a set period of time. I recommend that you give it a whirl for 7 days. And, you know, if you want to push yourself to maybe 30 days, that's up to you.
Oh, from 7, you're going to 30?
Yeah. But honestly, the idea behind the detox is quite simple. It's stopping the impulse buying, stopping yourself literally in the act of going to spend another dollar on something that you probably don't need. And the act of changing this kind of spending behavior is what will help you strengthen your money mindset and put a few dollars back into your bank account. So we actually have data on this of just how much money people save. And it's a lot, over a couple $100 in a week.
Didn't you do like save more than that? I remember like you hit over 1,000 or something at one point. Last
year, I detoxed for a full 30 days and my personal savings was $1,060. And what my students who were doing this alongside with me, they averaged about $25 to $35 per day when they were really focused on their detox. So, you know, pick your time frame and pick your goals, but that's kind of what the data shows. It's incredible what you can do.
Well, and we're talking about doing this right now post holidays, a 7-day spending detox, but this is something you do a few times during the year, right?
That's right. So I like to do it obviously in January. It's a great time to reset right after the holidays, which we all know people spend way too much money, during the holidays. And then I typically do another one in the spring. And I will do another detox before the holidays. So around that November timeframe. And there's two reasons. The first is obviously it's really nice to put a little bit of money back into my bank account. But the second is it's really that money mindset. It's about taking control back of the spending and feeling powerful with your finances again. And that might even be the bigger reward of the entire challenge, is that mindset shift.
I have a feeling we're going to have a few listeners that are about to say, oh, that's me right now. What are some of the signs that we've been on autopilot with our spending?
Okay, so the first sign is that you check out your cart, whether it's digital or physical, without actually looking at the total cost. We're all guilty of that. A second sign is that your cart always ends up with like a few extra purchases, like salad tongs or chopstick that you really don't need, but you know how it happens. Like you're actually at the checkout and you just grab that extra thing, or you're at the digital checkout and they have like a complimentary purchase. So you just add it to your cart.
Mm-hmm.
And then another sign is that this is the worst, where you've got stuff arriving at your doorstep that you completely forgot that you ordered in the first place. And you're like trying to open the door, but the screen door won't open because there's a huge Amazon box blocking it. That's a big sign that you're on autopilot. Another sign is it's actually more in the space of psychology, and it's where you may feel like a little bit numb or disassociated from reality when you're shopping. And that often translates into you actually forgetting the things that you were originally going out to shop for. So like you forgot those multivitamins that you really needed, but you ended up with like, I don't know, like 3 boxes of brownies. And then the final autopilot signal is that you buy something and you get this quick hit of what we call dopamine. And it's where you physically, like, buoy in your spirits. You physically feel happier for a period of time. And this can last up to like a full 24 hours where you're like so pumped about this purchase. And then it's followed by an emotional cliff where afterward you then have these feelings of guilt or regret.
But that's the pandemic for you, right? Like we're overbuying because it just makes us feel better over the course of this pandemic.
It's so true. And you saw this actually during the holidays. We're just getting data back on like what actually happened with people's spending. And we found that we're finding that parents and grandparents in particular went wild with spending and spoiling their children because of this guilt that we're feeling about the pandemic. And so that's something, in 2 weeks from now, when everybody has to pay those hefty credit card balances, we are expecting a drop in mental health around the third week in January, which is when the majority of these balances are due. So, you know what? It's a really good time to just stop what you're doing and take a pause and let's do something different.
Yeah, and I've arrived at that point as well, and I think it really hit me a couple of days ago in having already read your article in the Star, where I was just getting dressed and grabbing my clothes, and I came across a toque, and I looked at it and I remembered, oh, I bought that last year. I didn't even remember I bought it, and then I just looked off into space and I said, oh, Lesley-Anne's going to be pissed.
Well, okay, so what you've just described is total autopilot, right? Like where you made that autopilot purchase and everybody's guilty of it. Like you go into your closet and you find something with a tag still on it. So this time of year where we do the spending challenge, the no spending challenge, is the perfect time for you to actually go into your rooms, your cupboards, and look at what you do have for a couple of reasons. One, you can figure out, like, can I keep this? Can I give it to somebody who actually needs it, right? Like there's a huge call for donations right now. And you may also find that you have more gratitude when you see some of the things that you do have and you're able to, find that refreshed joy. And the fact that that toque that you had is something that you really wanted and it can bring you joy.
Yeah. No, it totally. And it's a great excuse to go through your stuff and say, do I really need that? And because I'm all about getting rid of things and moving things out of this house. You could tell I'm a parent of 2 kids. I just want to get things out of the house because we're acquiring more things and I feel like the walls are closing in on me and I just want to push everything out. And, looking at items around your house that, maybe you don't need anymore and looking through that. What about online and what about in your email? Because I'm sure we're getting a few emails that aren't really going to help us out too much during this 7-day spending detox.
So it is a really good time to actually cull your emails and unsubscribe from emails that you find really tempting. So I'm going to give you an example. I really love technology. And so I have emails that come from different providers, and I'll name Best Buy, for example. And I do have to unsubscribe during this time because I like to look at that. And, and I'm a personal finance expert. Doesn't mean I buy, but I like to look at it. So the whole idea is that you're going to clear the temptation away so that you don't end up in the position where you're, accidentally buying and having that, that regret, that buyer's regret. The other thing that goes unnoticed sometimes is just how many subscriptions you're subscribed to. So this is a perfect time of year. Look at your bank account, look at your credit card, and how many subscriptions do you actually have? I have a friend who had $350 of subscriptions going through her account every month. This is one of my close friends. And, I made a joke to her about hey, you're my friend. You shouldn't be doing this. We get to talk about money all the time. And she actually made a really conscious effort during her last detox, which was just before the holidays. She went through and she got it down to $50.
Wow.
From $350. So I was really proud of her.
That's $300 a month that
Totally.
she begun to save.
Totally. And she's actually doing that. She's now taking that money and putting it into her savings account, which is huge. That's $3,600 in the course of a year.
Wow. Yeah. Well, and that's it. Like that's part of, or that's one of the rules to abide by when doing this 7 day spending detox, is to e-transfer your savings, like calculate how much money you would be saving during this detox and put it straight into your savings account.
You got it. So obviously the first rule is that you stop spending on
Yeah.
anything non-essential. The second is that you e-transfer whatever you would have saved. So if you didn't buy those socks on Amazon for $12, you go into your online banking and you transfer the $12 into your savings account. And then the third rule of the spending detox is that you still do have to pay your normal essential bills. This is not like a payment holiday from those. But if you just follow those rules for 7 days, it is going to really, really refresh your money mindset. So I have to share this really cool thing. I decided to actually like formalize this challenge this year, the 7 day spending detox.
Mhm.
And I just opened it up to whomever is interested in joining. They can go to my website. It's right at the top of the banner and it's free. We're giving people tools and everything. And we have close to 2,000 people who have signed up just in the past few days who want to try to do something different. And that makes me so happy because it shows that so many people, thousands of people really want a different relationship with their money this year. And, you know, I commend all of those who are even thinking of doing this challenge or who are, you know, if you want a little guidance, check out my website. We'll help guide you. But honestly, like, way to go. It's so fun and there's so many rewards.
Yeah, well, you may want to do it, you may have to do it. Whatever the situation is, you're going to be saving money. So check out, or money, excuse me. So check out MeVest.ca. We haven't even talked food. You know,
Oh, yeah.
meal preparation, you know, decrease the takeout, and think about this in meal preparation and going grocery shopping this year. It's expected that the cost of food, other essentials as well, might be going up.
Yeah, so essential goods like food is actually projected to go up by up to 6% this year, which is really hard
Yeah.
coming off of a very financially difficult year. So my suggestion here is like, this is a perfect time to eat all the way back to the very back of your fridge, to the back of your pantry. Actually skip the groceries this week and go through everything that you have. This applies for your medicine cabinet. You know, don't buy any more shampoo or soap until you've used up what you have. And also, like, you know, the pantry where you do have like many cans of tomatoes or whatever you have. The whole idea is, you know, if your pantry, your fridge, and your medicine cabinet is kind of like near gone by the end of your challenge, you're doing the right thing. It means you're using up what you have. And if your gas tank is nearly empty, that's also a good sign.
Be Kramer. Push it as far as you can.
Yes.
Don't get stuck on the highway. But push it as far as you can. And this is all about building financial empowerment. Check out MeVest.ca, personal finance expert and MeVest founder. Baby Hank's mom, Lesley-Anne, Scorgie Lesley-Anne, always a pleasure. It's great to talk to you again in 2021. Look forward to doing more of the same next week and every week afterwards. Thank you so much, Lesley-Anne. Really appreciate it.
Thanks, Jeff. Happy New
All right.
Year.
Thank you.